So, have any of you ever been to any of our trainings where I've done Getting Your Mind Right, like I've done Here's to the Crazy Ones? Has anybody ever heard? Some of you have heard me do that one. In Perrysburg, I did Your Happiness Circle. Where's anybody at Perrysburg? A couple of you? Okay. So tonight, well, this week, Sandy asked me to do Getting Your Mind Right, which is one of my big things with it works. And I was like, oh, some of them I've heard most of my talks, so let's change it up a little. And I started praying, and I'm like, what do I need to deliver this week? What do people need to hear? And Monday night, I had a team training, or just a meeting, team time we call it. And a girl came from over an hour away, and she was in my downline, and she said, you know, Jody, she said, I have to be open and honest with you. She said, I was so intimidated by you. And I said, you were? She said, yeah. She goes, I was scared to talk to you. You were triple diamond. And she said, and I could relate, because I remember when Lisa Fuller as a triple diamond wanted to talk to me on the phone, and I freaked out. And I still get intimidated when I go to talk to ambassadors and stuff. And I said, really? I said, because I'm just a normal person. And she said, you know, once I heard your story and I heard you talk, I realized that triple diamond is just a title. And a lot of you don't know my story. I was pregnant at 16. I was married at 17, had my first baby. I had my second baby at 19. I dropped out of college at 18. So I don't have a college degree. Some of you don't know, our first home that we bought, it was $25,000. And I remember walking in, and we were buying it from an elderly lady, and we walked in and she had the oven door open. And I said, oh, are you baking? And she said, no, that's how I heat the house. And this is the house that we were buying. So at 17, I didn't have a whole lot. We struggled for many years. People didn't think that we struggled. We looked all put together. But we never knew how we were going to make ends meet. I asked Andy to put up Presidential Diamond because that's who I believe I'm going to be. For so many years, I was a teen mom college dropout in my mind. Every time somebody saw me, I was a teen mom college dropout for them in my mind. And AirWorks has changed so much for me, and it's changed a lot. So I started thinking about the people I was training with today, and I started thinking about a couple of them. I knew their stories. A couple of them I didn't even know. I knew their names, but I didn't know who they were. And so I thought, I want you guys to realize who It Works is. It Works is not all these people with college degrees, not people that, you know, are millionaires before they start. So when she said that, it was words to me on Monday, I was kind of like, wow. Is that who people think we are? So I just want to share a little bit with you. Sandy, you want to come up? A lot of you might already know Sandy's story. Some of you are sidelines and you don't. Sandy was married at 18, divorced by 21. She had a baby to take care of. She didn't. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. She said, I didn't have hope for a future. All I knew was I didn't have a whole lot of support, and I had a baby who depended on me, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Now she's a presidential diamond, making 6 figures a year with no college degree. No college degree. Trisha? This lady amazes me because I'm thinking, okay, her title is, she has a fear of failing. She has a fear of letting her family down. She has a fear of losing her business, her team members quitting. And I see her up here today training, and she's amazing. Like, you guys, she's so amazing. But you know what? Our struggles from the past are not who defines us today. Our struggles from today, her fear of failing today, that's what makes her stronger. That's what's going to make her succeed with It Works. Because she doesn't want to fail. She doesn't want to let her family down. And I know there's some of you out there who are scared to death of failing. You're scared to let people down. But that's what you need to use as ground to be successful in this business. Tammy, this really blows me away. So social anxiety, really? You totally rocked that party pad, girl. She stood up here and she delivered that better than I've ever delivered it. Yes, you did. She has struggled. They've struggled financially. She struggles with letting her family down also. She's a 15-year-old son. Everybody knows how 15-year-olds are. They're rebellious, especially when they're boys. They're rebellious. They're hard to deal with. And they've struggled. She doesn't ever hardly get to see her husband because they have to work so hard to make ends meet. But guess what? That's what's going to drive her to be successful. She's never going to give up with this business because of that. And she rocked her first team call last night on her own. So social anxiety is out the window, girlfriend. I'm so proud of you. Katie. I have to tell you a story about Katie because I fell in love with her because I've never met her to talk to her about her story, but I messaged her and I said, listen, I want to talk to the leaders and what are your struggles? And she's like, oh, I don't have any struggles. She said, I strive to be the best always. And the coolest thing was, she's like, I have no struggles. I strive to be the best. I've always wanted to impress my parents and I've always wanted their approval. And then a whole book opened up. And she started talking about the struggles with always wanting to impress her parents. And all these childhood struggles she went through, she didn't even know she went through until we started talking yesterday. And she had a brother that passed away, and we talked about that. And the coolest thing was she didn't even realize that she's the strong person she is today with no struggles because of her childhood struggle, because she wanted to prove everybody wrong, because she wanted acceptance from her parents. She wanted to make them so proud. And so she strives to be the best every single day. And that's what she does in her It Works business because of what she's gone through, and she didn't even realize it. And we talked about that. She said, you know, I know you didn't contact me to help me through things, but she's like, you helped me through today because she opened up a whole bunch of stuff that she didn't even realize had made her the person that she is today. So I think that's absolutely awesome. And Tina, I didn't know her story until Perrysburg, and when she shared it, I was just a mess. You guys see Tina's, I don't know if anybody knows what it feels like to be unwanted or unloved or thrown aside. Her parents gave her away. They left her, pretty much left her. They abandoned her. And her uncle raised her. God bless her uncle for taking over. But she told me, she said, Jody, I've always felt unwanted and I've always felt alone. She doesn't have that anymore because she has us. And she, you know, she's hit rock bottom with this business. She went from the top back down to distributor, executive, but she's never stopped fighting. And she knows. And Sandy resurrected her. Sandy got a hold of her and brought her back. And you know what? Thank goodness, because her two little girls will never want for anything. They will never feel unwanted or alone because she's there with them every day because of this business. That's worth everything. That's worth never giving up, to be there for your girls. They're never going to feel unwanted or alone. So, my last person I want to bring up, she's been through more than probably anybody in this room. My cousin Amber. I don't know. Has anybody ever heard Amber's story? I don't know. It took a lot for her to finally tell her story. The first time, yeah, she's like, I'm not telling it. The first time I came to Amber, she was a hot mess. And she was like, I don't want nothing to do with your business. She bloated when I put a wrap on her. She was a mess. But Amber came from a deep, dark past. She came from everything. She came from family struggles. She came from being arrested. She came from being a drug addict, alcoholism. She lost her house. She lost cars. Cars have died on her. She's had marital issues. She's had struggles with her children. She has been through everything under the sun. When I finally got her signed up for It Works, when she didn't want to do it, but I told her she had to do it. It Works has saved her from being on 12 different medications. But before that, the week I signed her up, both of their cars died. So her and her husband both lost their jobs. His brother died. He went years with no hot water. Years. And I said, Amber, if it's only $150 to turn your gas back on, why didn't you put the money towards that? She said, I needed heat before I needed hot water. So, do you know what the coolest thing, I mean, she's been through it all. We've all been through a lot. And you know the coolest thing about all of this is that we have It Works. It Works is now helping to support her family. It's retired, a lot of us. We now get to be stay-at-home moms. None of us have college degrees. Tina, you have a college degree? No? A couple of them do. It Works gives people hope. How many of you sitting in this room either are like us or know somebody like us? Almost everybody. It Works is a Christian-based company. A lot of people don't know that. It's a company that gives people hope. It will change your life if you let it. And you guys are not in this room by accident, because God doesn't bless you with a gift like It Works if He doesn't think you can't handle it. Amen. Some of you might have fear of failing, fear of social anxiety, fear of your past. So many people, so many of us let our past define who we are. But It Works gives us hope. And if any of you don't believe you're worth success and you're worth happiness, why not? Why not you? Because each and every one of you better believe right now that you are in this room for a reason, that you're worth success. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you for being here. Are we going to hit roadblocks? Are people going to laugh at us, you crazy rap ladies? The best thing ever. Are parties going to cancel? Nope. Are distributors going to quit on you? All the time. But don't you dare quit. Don't you dare give up, because the presidential diamond told me one time when I was ready to quit, she said, when God blesses you with a gift this big, you don't turn your back and you don't walk away. We have the gift to change people's lives, to make a difference, whether it's through friendships, whether it's through the products, whether it's through the business. It's a gift, you guys, and you need to believe it. Success comes from 90% of belief in yourself, belief in your products, and belief in your company. And we all have amazing friendships with this business. It's changed our lives, and it can change yours if we believe it. Right? My daughter sent me something. I'm going to read you this because my daughter sent me something when I was getting ready for tonight's training, and I thought it was really fitting. It says, today, know that you are good enough. Stop worrying if you're pretty enough, if you're strong enough, if you're rich enough, or if you're smart enough. You must know that you are enough. Don't let negative thoughts have power over you. Take a deep breath and know that you matter and you are enough and you are worth it. So. Thank you guys all for coming, for leaving your families tonight, because